Over the course of several evening hours, the Cedarbluff Emergency Center received multiple calls reporting gunfire. At first, they appeared unrelated. They weren't. What responders were dealing with was not a single shooting, but one crime unfolding across multiple locations. Cedarbluff, Mississippi, a small community with just over 2,000 residents. A place where most people recognize familiar cars, where violence is rare and immediately noticed. That night, the sounds people heard were confusing at first. Not everyone understood what was happening. By the time it became clear, the situation had already escalated. The first emergency response was sent to a residential area. Soon after, another call came in, a different location. Then another. At that point, authorities realized they were not responding to isolated incidents. They were dealing with a suspect who was moving. The victims were not strangers. They were members of the same family and people connected to the local community. 6 individuals were killed. Among them was a 7-year-old child. These were people whose absence would be felt immediately, inside homes, inside churches, and across the town. Authorities identified a single suspect, Derica M. Moore, a 24-year-old local resident. Investigators stated that the suspect acted alone. At this stage of the investigation, no official motive has been confirmed. What made this case stand out was not only the number of victims, but the movement between locations. Most violent incidents of this scale remain confined to one scene. This one did not. Investigators and analysts have noted that the sequence of locations raises questions about intent. Whether the continuation itself played a role in the behavior remains a matter of investigation, not conclusion. As news spread, Cedarbluff went quiet, schools closed, churches opened, residents stayed inside. Fear was not limited to what had already happened, but to what might happen next. The suspect was taken into custody later that night. He now faces multiple serious charges related to the killings. However, key questions remain unanswered. Why did the violence move between locations? Why those specific places? And what ultimately caused it to stop? Authorities have said the investigation is ongoing. In small towns, violence is usually immediate and unmistakable. In Cedarbluff, it wasn't. It unfolded across space. By the time the full pattern became clear, the damage had already been done. What investigators are now trying to understand is not only what happened, but why it happened the way it did.